you will cause generational curses to happen in your marriage. And another thing that a lot of people do not let's say tell you when you do get married is that you cannot let your spouse watch whatever they want to watch, okay? You cannot let them roam the internet and watch these X videos and XXX videos and things like that, because you allow them to have spiritual spouses. This is spiritual warfare out here, okay? The enemy does not like marriage, okay? He's going to take your spouse away from you, okay, at any moment, okay? And he's figuring out tactics on how to separate you from one another and things like that. And it's this lady I read about online and things like that. She told her story, and she basically said, like, she was married to this man. Everything was good. They love each other very, very much, and they had children and things like that. And one day he just up and left. He left. Not only did he leave, he left with a woman that was already married. She had a family of her own. So you can imagine the devastation that she must have felt or whatever. And this is what's going on, and this is what's scaring people away. But, there is a solution. The solution is prayer. Pray for your husband. If they are in that kind of sin or whatever they may be doing that is not the right way, you need to pray for them, because they're going to need it. You guys are going to need it for your marriage. Okay. Another thing I want to say is what people don't tell you when you get married is that you need to leave your single season in your single season. You cannot bring your single season into your marriage. What you did online and things like that on Facebook, what you did on these chat lines and things like that, it needs to stop. Okay, it needs to stop. You are a new, different season. You have a new, different role, a new, different calling. Okay, things change. You cannot keep the same male or female friendship that you had because you was looking for fellowship in that person. Now you need to allow your spouse be that friend for you, because when y'all get into it, who you gonna talk to? You need to talk to your spouse. You need to mend things with your spouse, not that male or that female friend that you had, because all they're gonna do is ruin your marriage. Okay, they're gonna be the ear, and yeah, you're gonna vent to them, but at the same time, while you're venting to them, you're pouring out all this information, all of this unnecessary information into somebody else that don't need to know your business. Okay, they don't need to know your business. They don't need to know what you do in your marriage bed. Okay, they don't need to know what arguments y'all got into and things like that, and the details and things like that, because that's not gonna help anything. That's gonna allow somebody else to be in your business, and that's not good at all. So, we need to get it together. Our generation is losing out on the blessing, of the possibilities of marriage. And, and another thing I want to say before I go, you cannot dress like you going to the strip club, okay, every single day of the week, of the month, of the year, because your husband or your wife or whatever, you cannot dress inappropriately all the time, because they're not going to take you seriously. Okay, the Bible says your beauty should come from within. Okay, First Peter chapter 3 verse 3-4 says your beauty should come inwardly. Sometimes you gotta throw on them sweatpants and that sweatshirt to get your husband's attention, or he's gonna need you to do that because maybe he wants to talk about something that's serious in your future. And you cannot do that all the time. Yeah, like it's good to do that occasionally, but to do that every day, how are y'all gonna grow? You're gonna be stagnant in your relationship. Okay, because he's gonna compare you to that girl or that woman that he's been watching on them X videos. Okay, or he's going to compare you to somebody that he's seen on the street, or somebody's talking about at work or whoever, and now you're a standard. Now you have to live up to a certain standard because you allow yourself to be in that position. And this is what people are not educated about. This is what people don't know about marriage. You cannot, just do whatever the heck you want to do. Okay. You can't dress any old kind of way all the time. You have to tone it down a little bit because, you're there for spiritual growth. You're there for emotional growth. You're there for encouragement. Your man cannot get encouragement with you wearing a pink fitted dress and lingerie, okay? He's not thinking about the future. You're actually headed for a divorce because you have not allowed him. That's the same thing with makeup. You wear a lot of makeup all the time and your husband never sees you without makeup. The moment you take that makeup off, he's gonna be like, who are you? He don't know who you are. He's been sleeping with you, eating with you, farting around you, and you got all this makeup on. Moment you take it off, he's gonna be like, who are you? I don't know who you are. I know that woman that wears the makeup. I know the woman with the makeup on. And sometimes men, they get used to a certain look and things like that once you do take it off and they say that you have some flaws or whatever it may be, once you do that, he's gonna look at you like, put that makeup back on. It's harsh to say, but this is the reality of relationships. This is the reality of marriage. Okay, so, and that's another thing that people don't tell you is you cannot do this on a daily basis. You cannot wear weaves and makeup and all this stuff on a regular basis because the moment you take it off and let's say you find yourself one day, or you're sad or you're depressed and you're like, well, I'm not wearing nothing today or whatever, yeah, it's not gonna be good for you. Actually, you're headed for a divorce because he's checking out the next